Morning, morning, morning. Big up to everyone joining us. You know, it's your boy MarkN, MUFC fan, and it's a friendlies internationals. Big days, big games. You know, the world is watching now as the all the club favorites are going to their national teams to represent. And as you see on the thumbnail, it's the youngster. You know, I can't be called to name all of the youngsters who debuted for England getting their call up under at the age or under of 18 years old, but I can tell you there are two significant ones that I remember from Manchester United. And the first one, the King, Rooney, Waza. You know what I mean? And now we have a Kobbie Mainoo. After his brilliant performance of consistent games over the last 15 games, he's been playing one of the best midfielders in the league on performance. You know, there's still a lot to be grown by this young man. He still has a lot to learn. You know, he still has a lot to develop and a lot to achieve, right? And, you know, maybe this is his first season, so we're not going to hype the kid too much. He has shown the ability and the maturity so far. Let's hope that he could carry it on and push on into the next season and the next. Big up to him for his performances. You've got to take your hats off. He's young, but you know how it is. The world is changing. The landscape of football is changing. There are players coming up from the CONCACAF region with such talent. Asia, Africa, Europe, the USA and North American region, and as well as Colin Bowl, South America. Guys, talent is abundant, and we're going to be seeing lots of new rises of young footballers around the world as the game evolves. What are your thoughts? Get in the comments, let me know what you're thinking. But now we're going to be talking about the friendly internationals currently and the players of Manchester United and maybe one or two across Europe. Guys, I hope you're having a good start to your morning. Big up to all of you. I got my buddy John Morgan in the building. He's going to come on shortly as we discuss two brief topics before we talk about the international friendlies. Take this time to like, share, and subscribe. And those of you tuning in from X, please leave your comments, retweet, and don't forget to smash the like buttons, guys. Big up to all of you. Big up to all of those joining us. Big up and welcome aboard to my buddy John Morgan in the building. How are you doing, my bro? Hope you're well.
Nah, good. Just very surprised. And kind of scared at the Gareth Southgate situation. But yeah, other than that, I'm very good. Still buzzing, but very good.
Big up for that. You know what I mean? How has the international break come at the worst time for United? That's Man Lutata, obviously, you know. He's always in the building. Huge
Mm.
Manchester United fan. I'm pretty sure he just loves to be cynical and make the jokes. That's my buddy, though. Big up to you, my bro. Big up to you, Mental Ball Game, for coming in. Hope you're having a good morning yourself. No human wants England to win anything in football. I actually won't say that, but you know, I think with a coach like Gareth Southgate, bro, you definitely probably not going to win much. You probably need a better coach. I don't think he's capable of dealing with all the talent at his disposal. He has shown this over the last few seasons. And for him to come to Manchester United, I'm just going to say this right now as a fan, you know, it's going to be a riot. Football will be done in the north because no one and no fan, not even a Manchester fan who's in favor of the English team, is going to back this guy at the helm of the Red Devils because he's absolutely disgraceful as a manager. Disgusting to even think that this guy is being mentioned in the same breath of coaching Manchester United as a football fan myself. Big up to all of you joining me. And you know, Kenny, I don't know if you want to join us, but come in. The link's there. You can also come into Mental Ball Game. I'm going to play two videos, but let me just get into this article really quickly. As you know, I'm pretty sure some of the media, they actually be spot on with the news that they're bringing. What started as a positive day for Manchester United fans in regard to England international team suddenly turned decidedly sour And I have to agree with that statement. Fans rejoiced when it was announced that Kobe Mainoo's incredible efforts this season were to be awarded with his first appearance in the senior English squad. However, that day darkened for almost all United fans when news broke that Ineos were looking at Gareth Southgate at replacing under fire Eric Ten Hag at the end of the season. In fact, the People's Person even relayed the disturbing news yesterday to our England manager, was the petrochemicals company number one choice to take over Old Trafford hot seat. The former Middlesbrough manager has close connection with many new faces at Old Trafford. Potentially new sporting director Dan Ashworth described Southgate as outstanding candidate to become the England manager back in 2016. Moreover, for several years, Ashworth, new board member Sir Dales Bradfield, and Southgate have been a part of a knowledge platform named Leaders PA, which aims to share ideas around developing and sustaining successful sporting events. The links between key figures now at United and the England coach are undeniable. There is no guarantee that Ineos will choose the former defender or that he would accept. But what must be understood is that he will be under serious consideration. I don't even know why this is even an issue. This is even a topic. Why he's even under consideration. Therefore, despite the unpopular nature of the question, it must be asked: is Southgate a good fit to be Manchester United boss? No way. Not in my lifetime, not in your lifetime, not in history. The 53-year-old has worked his way up from the under 21, but he's failed miserably at Middlesbrough. I'm not really going to continue reading this, guys, because I'm
You
getting a
see,
little bit angry just talking about, Southgate. The guy is just, ugh,
Mark, they in this article, you see the in a superficial way the England boss has a strong record. All right, bro. If I'm playing against Moldova with Saka, Bellingham, Kane, and you're playing against North Macedonia, and you're playing against what's the other team, um um there's some weird teams in the qualifying rounds, like
bro,
those teams that don't even have professional footballers. They're semi-pro players. They have jobs. If I'm going to play all these great world class talent against those players, obviously I'm going to win them and win them convincingly. So the
100%.
record, if you look at the record, the guy got knocked out in a final that he was supposed to win at home. He went to a semi final or quarter final, and I think he got knocked out against Italy. Bro, it is crazy. Like, no chance. The style of play, three at the back, the players that he plays, Henderson, Calvin Phillips, Harry Maguire, even though they don't play for their clubs, they play in the England team. So, so what do you actually mean? What do you actually mean? Like, what are you looking for? I understand he has a close relationship with Sir David Brailsford, but now is it the mates rates? Is it now the fact that I'm because you're my friend, I'm going to hire you? Absolutely not. If and I don't want to say this, but the fact that he's been mentioned is a ploy by the media to upset the fans so that we as fans can be distracted by chopping up Liverpool at the weekend. My manager's staying. My manager's going to make sure that we end in the top four. My manager's going to make sure we win the FA Cup. I saw Fabrizio say that Terry Ten Hag is in conversation with the Ineos group and with the people in charge about next season and about planning about plans for next season and about players that they want to bring in and about different things that they want to do next season. Now that is a good sign. Now all of a sudden, if you're telling me that reports are saying the sun, bro, the sun is not true. Let's be honest, the sun is not true. So this is just enough to rile us up, to get us angry, to get us frustrated, to get us talking. But we shouldn't pay no mind to it because we saw Fabrizio. When it comes to Fabrizio and it comes to David Ornstein, those two guys are not wrong. They don't report opinion. They report what they hear. And what Fabrizio said yesterday on that on the show with on JD Football, he was there. He said, I am hearing that Eric Ten Hag has a good chance of being there next season because of the fact that he's involved with the planning of next season. All right, anything can change. I'm not saying it's guaranteed he's going to be there. Anything can change. We've seen how this football world works, the industry works. But let's be honest, it cannot be Gareth Southgate. It just cannot be him.
Bro, I back that statement. Mental, what's going on with you, my bro? Good morning. How are you doing?
Morning, Mo, bro. Morning. Yeah, I totally agree, man. And as Compost said, look at the players that he's got, man. He's got probably the most talented England squad ever, and he has failed to win anything. And he still plays Jordan Henderson. He's called up Menu under pressure. He wasn't going to call him. He was going to play Henderson in both the friendlies as well, even though Henderson stunk the place at Ajax. I mean, he went to Saudi league, and even if he was still in Saudi, he would have picked him up. He would not have dropped him. He's got his favorites. Even when Maguire wasn't playing for United, he was consistently picking up Maguire. I can understand that a manager can have favorites, but when you have other players who are doing well, who are doing much better than your favorites, then you need to pick those players. Levi Colwell at that time was playing much, much better than Maguire, and he wasn't picking him. He was still picking Maguire. So he's got favorites, and he doesn't know how to utilize the attacking talent, to be honest. He just puts the players on the pitch and thinks the players will figure themselves out. He he's like the anti-football coach, you know.
Hmm.
We don't want him at United. There's no way we can have him at United, man. That'll be the worst manager that United can appoint.
Yo, that was crazy. This is exactly why I'm agreeing with both of your comments, guys. Last season when Rashford was on fire, Southgate did not start him. It was unbelievable. Imagine, right? I looked at the World Cup and the two games Rashford started, he came on and won the game for England. And then you bench him in the game you need to score goals and you lose. What kind of
Man,
manager is that you're trying to bring to
you
Manchester
know what is
United?
funny?
A failure?
I was listening to I was listening to Talksport on YouTube, right? Andy Goldstein, and he was saying like look how many times Gareth Southgate has played a double pivot against these horrible teams: San Marino, North Macedonia, uh, Moldova. All of these teams, he plays a double pivot, meaning two sixes, because he's scared of what they're gonna do. What they gonna do? They are part-time footballers, but you're scared of what they gonna do. No, bro. No. Sorry, man. So yeah, I agree with you, Mark. Sorry, I cut you off there.
Yeah, enough about Garrett Southgate though, because that's yesterday's news. And to be fair, like I just wanted to kind of give my opinion, hear your opinions on it, and just say for everyone that's watching, yo, don't pay attention to that rubbish. We all know what he's capable of and what he's not capable of. But other things we want to get into is the internationals. And Bruno was speaking ahead of his international, and he was discussing some things. Although he was speaking in Portuguese, there was a translator available, so let's just hear what Bruno had to say, guys. Let me just bring this to the stage. Right there. Boom.
Não, não, não. Também quando está cá o Cristiano, não lhe podemos passar toda essa responsabilidade de receber toda a gente da mesma maneira e termos só a responsabilidade no Cristiano para receber toda a gente. O Cristiano sabe bem receber, porque é o jogador que há mais anos está na seleção. Temos neste estágio, pelo menos até agora, o Pepe, temos o Bernardo também, que são jogadores que também já estão aqui há muito tempo, mas
Yeah, I think I played the wrong video by accident, but basically I actually watched it in the English version, and the last question that he was speaking about was his performance and his form at Manchester United. And one of those things that struck me is that Bruno said that it wasn't that he's performing well this season, he's having a bad season, but he's always committed to the team and he's willing to give his best each and every game. And with that, he's also, saying that, he knows that he has to do better and he will do his best. But, sometimes you can, he's in bad form and he's actually trying to do his best to be there for the team. And I would agree with that statement. And I think Bruno is an honest guy. He says he speaks the truth, he keeps it real. You know what I mean? I know he gets a lot of flack from a lot of the fan base. A lot of stuff say that, he is not good enough and whatnot. But I would say that he's been consistent over the last 2, 3 seasons, 2.5 seasons before, and this season. I'm not saying it's okay he's having a bad season, but I'm saying that not because he's having a bad season, he's a terrible player. What are your thoughts, guys?
I think Bruno is a very good player, and you can never doubt his work rate and effort and his commitment to the team. But I think the effort that he puts in for the team, that he thinks is helping the team, actually affects the team negatively. He puts in the effort. He wants to be everywhere. If he can just relax and realize that he needs to play his position, he needs to be available to create chances. If he's running around to the left wing, to the right wing, to the center back, to the left wing, everywhere, and he's not creating chances for our strikers, then he's no use. He's running around like a headless chicken, pressing alone. Pressing has to be a team effort. There has to be a system in place for pressing. You can't have just one player running around and trying to press four different players from the opposition. So he needs to realize that he needs to play his position. There's no doubt that he puts in the effort, but he puts in the effort for all the wrong reasons. He leaves gaps, so many gaps, because he's not where he's supposed to be. And that puts pressure on the other players to cover for his position as well. That's what he doesn't realize. It's not that he's not putting in the effort, but he's putting it for the wrong reason and putting pressure on the other players who have to cover for his position and look at the opposition because they can attack quickly. Bruno goes, Holland goes, Rashford goes. You know Rashford is not coming back. Garnacho tries his best. He's been trying in the last few games very hard to come back. But the system that we are playing, and this is what I was saying for Eric Ten Hag as well, the tactics are not helping our players. If you look at Menu, if you look at Casemiro in the previous games when the season started, they are being asked to do so much, man. It's impossible for a player to do so much.
I
You
disagree
can't.
though, but I'll let you finish before I give
Yeah,
my
yeah, no, no
opinion.
worries, man. Yeah, you can't expect them to go up, down, up, down, up, down so many times. So I think Bruno is a good player. No doubt he's got the talent. I think he's probably been the best signing after Sir Alex, but he needs to realize that he needs to play his position, man. That's where he'll be able to create chances.
Yeah, I mean he has to stick to his position at the same time, like I understand what you're saying about Bruno. I feel like there are times when he has no choice but to go back into the defense. He has no choice but to drop deep to help the team build up because if you look at some of the games, I know that you see some gaps in some situations, but context is important. You can't just take a snapshot at a gap in the midfield and say, well, look at the space there. Something's wrong with the setup. You know what I mean? If if the team goes up for a corner or a set piece and we're all in attack and we get counter attacked and you take a picture and you show the gap between the defense and the midfield and there's a huge gap. I mean, you see that identical picture with Arsenal, you see that identical picture with Man City, and I could show you evidence of it if you want. But at the same time, it's like I'm not trying to compare to Arsenal, Liverpool, or Man City. I'm trying to say that there's circumstances in the game that players have to adjust. Not we could the manager could set up a team in any which way. It could be 5-3-2, 4-2-1-2, 4-3-2, 4-3-3. But at the end of the day, when the players are playing their positions and the tactics, and when a player overlaps another player, they have to pick up the role and the position. They have to know what is they're responsible to do in that moment. And not all players actually have the footballing IQ to read the game that way. Sometimes, you can be taught, but doesn't mean that you're going to learn it. Doesn't mean that you understand it. And at the same time, I feel like we're making so many excuses for players because at the end of the day, a player has to fit the system. The system doesn't have to fit the player unless you're building the system around players. And that's not what Manchester United is trying to do right now. If we were trying to do that, we would be playing a counter-attacking system. Right now, we're trying to play possession-based, high expansive attacking football, high press, right? And obviously, some players are not going to function well. Obviously, some players are not going to do too well in that system because either they cannot adapt to the system or their profile and what they're good at does not fit the system. And the only solution to that is to move them on. There's no reason for a manager to change his tactics to suit the squad unless he's doing it bit part in time until he gets rid of those players that don't suit the system. I don't know what John is saying, but
Yeah,
that's my opinion based on it. I mean, I'm a huge Bruno fan, but at the same time, I will give him his criticism where it's due. I will give him his plaudits where it's due. But I look at the game, and when I see him play for Portugal, I look at the players that play around him. One thing that they have that most of the Manchester United players who play around Bruno doesn't is a high footballing IQ and the ability to read the game. And when I say read the game, you have to read your teammates. You have to know have an idea what they might do in certain situations from playing with them over and over, training with them over and over. That's why they have consistent training and all these things. And
also,
honestly, I just feel like our players don't usually, focus on those things. They usually focus on their own games in some circumstances.
yeah, so yeah, I also disagree with you completely. No disrespect though. But the reason why I disagree with you is because saying that he's leaving gaps, and it's okay, and then also in the same breath saying that Marcus Rashford is not going to track back, that is the issue. Because if Marcus Rashford is not going to track back, obviously that's a Marcus Rashford problem, and not a Bruno Fernandes trying to cover problem. For example, I think in my personal opinion, in my personal opinion, I think that Bruno Fernandes covers a lot for his teammates. You will see oftentimes when Garnacho doesn't trap back, then um, he will do the work and he will go put in the tackle and he will try and win the ball back. He's the number 10. So yes, I agree that at times he's doing too much, but he's also creating chances. He's also adding value onto the game. He's also finding better players in better positions. Finding players in better positions that can impact the game and create an attacking angle and an attacking scenario that can benefit the team more if he has to make the final ball or the assist that leads to the pass or the pass that leads to the assist. Sorry. So another thing that you mentioned about pressing as a team, I've often heard Ten Hag say and credit Bruno for initiating the press. Bruno often initiates the press, and in Eric Ten Hag's team, it's a pressing team. All right, so if we look at our team, we know Ten Hag wants to press. We know he wants to play high up the field. We know that he wants to play with his centre backs on the halfway line, and he wants to strangle. Now, with defenders like Johnny Evans, like Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof, you can't really do that because of the lack of pace or the lack of recovery pace, and also the lack of fullbacks doesn't allow for that game. All right. So now what you have is you have a hybrid of a deep lying sorry, a deep line, and then you have a team that is pressing. So now all of a sudden there's a bigger gap that the midfielders need to cover. Right, but if there's a bigger gap that the midfielders need to cover, now they must try and understand: do I press or do I hold deep? Do I cover the midfield or do I don't? All right, that is the issue that we've had this season, and that is why when we concede chances, we allow them to run into our 18-yard area. We allow them to run to just before our box, and we defend from there. That is why I think that happens because of the fact that we can't play a high line. So Bruno Fernandes constantly puts the work in, and for me sets the tone. Right, sets the tone to for the other players to work hard, for players to show, okay, we're in a game, let's work hard. So I don't really think it's fair if you're saying he does too much, because if he's not gonna do it, who's gonna do it? And now all of a sudden you ask the question, okay, but he's our captain, so he should be doing it. So I think for me, like looking at Bruno, I think they're going to win the Euros. I'm actually going to support him, um, Portugal, because I think they have a fantastic team. If they can just drop Ronaldo and put Ronaldo on the bench and play what's the guy's name? Gonzalo, I think. If they
Gonzalo
can play
Ramos. Yeah.
if they can play him, yeah, Gonzalo Ramos.
Ramos,
If they can play
I
him up
remember.
front and you play Bernardo, Bruno, Neves, that new guy, 18-year-old, I think they're going to have a quality team. And then all of a sudden, you're going
John
to get to
Neves,
see.
yeah, I know that. Yeah, yeah. Mm.
Yeah. And I can't wait to see how they do now because I think they're playing. I saw they're playing a big team. Well, I'm not sure. I'm maybe mistaken. Maybe I'm mistaken, but yeah. So that's my thoughts on Bruno. I honestly, I really think he adds a lot of value to the team.
Just to respond to both of your points, right, Mark? You said you can take the same picture for Arsenal and City and other teams, and I agree. There's some points in a game where you have to have gaps in the midfield, or you are in a situation where those gaps appear. But that can happen once or twice in a game. What is happening with us is it's happening a lot of times. And you just look at the number of shots we are facing on goal. We are the second worst team in the league facing the number of shots, man. And that's because one ball over our front line, and there you're on mute, Mark, if you're trying to make your point, man. And
I'm just saying that you said we are the second, we actually fifth, the fifth worst team facing shots, but we are actually in the top seven for least shots on target, right? Just so you know,
yeah,
before
but
you.
uh, and see, I personally don't like stats like these. But when I'm watching the game, I rely on eye test, and when I watch the game, I can see the opposition running at our defenders at least 10, 15 times every game. And that doesn't
Yeah,
happen
but
to a
we
top
also
team.
run at defenders 10, 15, 20 times a game. It's the same thing with every single team. Football, I don't know. I understand where you're coming from in the sense. I'm not trying to cut you too much, right? I understand where you're coming from in the sense that it's something that is a problem. I'm not saying it's not an issue. I'm saying it is a problem, but it's not. It from my perspective, it's not a system problem. It's more of a player problem. And the reason why I will say it's a player problem is because two things. One, we lacking defenders who have the pace to accommodate, and two, really and truly, Casemiro is amazing a player, but he has not been. He's not up to that speed. To say consistently that he could make the running back and keep up with the pace of the Premier League for 90 minutes. So maybe getting a midfielder with a better engine will serve a better purpose in the midfield, and you might see a change. This is why I wouldn't criticize too heavily, because I feel like circumstantially, with some of the players that we have, especially knowing that some of these players don't adapt during games, right? That, as Campos is saying, is a calculated risk, right? And at the same time, you have to take risks because it's football. You want to score goals. Now, I could understand the shots that we are facing is way too much right now at the same time. And I'm sure Ab's gonna come on and talk about that in depth shortly, you know. But I just wanted to highlight that, listen, I know there are issues, but we already know that we have some players who are probably part of the issue more than the manager's tactics. Now, the manager can change his tactics to suit the players we have, but won't that be him deviating from his style and what he intends for the team to move to? And also, won't that hamper recruitment and selecting the right players to fit into the manager's style of play and suit his system?
Well, not really, because he did that last season. He didn't have his goalkeeper last season. De Gea was playing and he couldn't play from the back. So manager adjusted his system. We weren't playing from the back. He's brought Onana now. He wants to play from the back, but he's lost Licha, he's lost Shaw, who've been missing the pretty much the whole season. And those two are really the backbone that we need. Those kinds of players are the backbone that we need for this kind of system that we are playing, trying to play right now.
Mhm.
We don't have the players for the system that he's playing at the moment. That's exactly what I'm saying. It is a system problem because he doesn't have those players. If he had Licha and if he had Shaw, we can play the way we are trying to play right now. Most
Exactly.
definitely. And we would be successful. But we don't have them right now. So change the system. Give your
Mhm.
players some compactness so that we don't have opposition running at our defenders. There's only so much our defense can do, man. You can't save all the shots that you face. If you're
True.
facing 20, 25 shots a game, one or two have to be deflections or whatever, like it happened with Liverpool. They
Well,
will
that
go in.
I have to disagree there. Sorry, I know you said you wanted to hear from Abs, but I have to disagree. Like, if you're going to have 50 shots coming from, um, like, between the 20-yard area and 30-yard area, regardless if it's going to be deflections or not, you're going to get maybe one deflection, and the keeper should save it. But if you conceding 30 shots coming from that far out, it's not a threat. That's why we have XG, expected goals. You don't expect a player to take 20 shots in a game from the 20-yard area and to score 10. You expect them to score one, and then it's all of a sudden it's a Puskas award.
No,
So yeah,
I
that's just
agree,
my
John. I
view.
agree, John. But again, looking at the matches, when you do the eye test, right? When you look at the chances that the opposition creates, some of the lesser teams, with all due respect to any team that is below the top half of the table, even they, when they've come to Old Trafford, have created so many chances. And you look at the game and you think, if they just had a clinical finisher, they would have won the game easily. That's what I'm saying. It's not just taking the shots from 20, 25 yards. It's all. How many times have we seen cutbacks giving the opposition chances against us? It
Yeah, but
took Ten
isn't
Hag
that
so much
problem
time
with
to
players
fix it.
as well?
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely is. Definitely is. I'm not disagreeing. I'm not saying that Ten Hag is the only problem. I'm saying Ten Hag is part of the problem. The tactics are part of the problem. We don't have the players to play the way that we are playing right now.
all right, I agree with that. Abs, what's good, bro? Haven't seen you in a minute.
Yes, guys, what's going on is these morning shows are probably better for me than the evening ones because I'm always trapped in coaching and then trying to get food afterwards. But guys, hello. Hope you have all good mornings, or I don't know what the time
Yeah,
zones is
yeah,
saying
you
over
too,
there.
man.
Well, it's
Hmm.
morning, just an hour ahead by me, bro, because I'm in Germany, so it's all good.
Sweet, yes, 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 yes. This is a very interesting topic, and I was trying not to jump in just now, but a mental ball game. I'm on your side, unfortunately. I'm well on your side. Um,
Cheers, man.
I'm a manager myself for a football team. Yes, it's not the same standard, I know. Yes, I'm going through my UEFA badges. It's not there yet, right? But there's no way on God's green earth I'm going to watch a game after 5 games and see my team get 20 shots against them and then not change my tactics because
True.
something is clearly wrong. If I know my players, which Ten Hag should know by now, he should know that he can't get away with his ideal playing style,
True.
especially in this league as well. This league is too fast as well. That's another thing that I think he's not. There was a point in November and December that I said on my podcast, Ten Hag doesn't respect this league, and the league is showing him the disrespect back
True.
because they just kept hammering him. You want to play this way? You want to be this open? No problem. We'll catch you on a counter attack. Constantly, constantly, constantly. And it's only after a while that the fans and the pundits started going, have you seen how many shots United get on them? And then that become the topic. So my situation, my thinking here, even with my low grade management skills, I'm going, you need to change that. You need to change that, right? I know he's stubborn. One of the things that I liked about him in Ajax was his stubbornness, and it pushed to the players and um, force the players to change up and act up or perform. But there's a point where you're too stubborn, and he's got to that point for me. He's getting to that point. I mean, this I love the Liverpool game. It's one of those games where I actually went, bro, we actually almost went toe to toe with them. But then for a large amount of that game, from I would say about 30, 40 minutes to
Yeah, around
about
that. Hmm.
85, they should have wiped us
78.
off they should have wiped
I'd
us off the
probably,
planet.
I'd probably say around like
85
from
though.
from like
Hmm.
for probably say like around maybe 40th minute until the moment when Salah got substituted. I think
70th minute. Yeah, I
I think
counted.
around that.
So yeah, so I counted 45. So we started the second half bad, but then I
Hmm.
counted 65 to 70 where we kind of got a grip after the substitution. That's what I counted because I watched the game. The game came on TV and I watched the second half again, and then I realized, oh, it wasn't actually that long. It just felt very long because we
Yo,
didn't
I
touch the
haven't
ball.
watched the game back, so if I am wrong, if I'm wrong, I can accept that. But I remember when I was watching, because my friend texted me and said, "Rah, Man United are actually in this game longer than usual." And I literally texted him and said, "Winter is coming. Just wait." Right.
You know,
And before I could text him again to say anything, he texted me back, said it's already here because his game was I think a minute ahead of mine. So he saw the goals before I did. Right.
to be
He said
fair, Abs,
it's
right?
already here. And
To
I was
be
just like,
fair,
okay.
Abs, that second goal, bro. Yeah, bro. Like up to today, I'm still not understanding it, and I have to conject with you and mental. Like I agree with most of what you're saying. Like
Mm,
theoretically, I agree with the fact that he should probably change the system to suit the players more, so we can get the results. But my point, my whole thing is, if he does that, and let's say we get top four, we finish second or third or something crazy. If he was doing that since December, right?
yeah.
My problem is, would he be able to expose the players that we have inadequately with reason? And when I say with reason, I mean like highlight that, listen, to the recruitment staff, the new owners and stuff. Listen, this guy is good, but he really doesn't suit the way I want to play, the way the team wants to play going forward, the way I'm building the team to go forward. So, yes, I understand that it's bad. And I think that definitely he should change things in order so that we could finish in top four, because I would like to see us in the Champions League next season. I would also like to see him with another season with a few more players that fit his style
Yep.
after the summer window, right? So I agree. But I also and as a fan, you know what I mean? And as a fan of Manchester United watching us over the couple years, I feel like managers who change, like what Ollie did when we finished second in the league, and
Yeah.
you know what Ten Hag did last season, you know, and what he's kind of doing with what he has left this season in terms of the players who are injured, and you know the various different players going in and out. I felt like he probably just said to himself, you know what, I'm gonna do it my way. If it highlights the play, if it puts you on the spotlight, at least the recruitment and the new board and the new direction will know. Listen, I need to replace you.
So I'm gonna answer this in two ways, right? Um, the first one I'm gonna side with you. If this was the Glazers, I understand that he would have to show them the depths of how bad the players are, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with the new management coming in, I feel they can have a discussion, football discussion, and actually come to a point where everyone will understand and see. Because he's not talking to bankers and accountants now
True.
who just see the results and the position. He's now talking to football guys who are used to building squads. So if he says to them, hey, they all agree this is the style of play we want, I'm almost 100% sure they already know certain players don't fit that. And it's probably up to him to confirm it. So I will say that. But then here's the other side of it. At what point does it become a player issue right, and it moves to a management issue?
Well, you see, the question I have for that question is that I agree that at some, like, if it was at, let me just, I mean, it would be a management issue if we couldn't get results, no matter what, in my opinion, right? But I can't get over the fact of it being a player issue in the sense that, listen, we want to move forward as a football club, and the only and to justify things, you're definitely going to need proof, evidence, or a sample size, right? And I feel like even if you're having a footballing conversation, you know, with footballing people, you still need to be able to prove your point. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So in a way, I rather the manager to stick to his guns stubbornly as best as he could while getting results than totally change his philosophy and get hammered and you know lose. Yeah,
Can
understand?
I
So
can I
this so
come in
this
here
is where
quickly?
I'm at with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We are
So
Yeah, man.
now I'll let you guys take over in a minute. We are now in March. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You've done your experiment the whole season thus far. I think everyone can see it. Now your job is on the line because if you don't get that Champions League, it's going to be very shaky in the summer.
Very
Very,
shaky.
So now
very
you need
shaky.
to change it. We've seen
Mhm.
it. How many percentage of the league have we gone through already? 70%, 60%.
70, 75.
You've done
I
your
think around
test. You've done your test. You've done your sample size. So if you keep messing up now, this is on you. I remember, I basically, I'm not a 10 out in, I'm not a 10 out because I agreed all the players that have failed with other managers needs to go first, right? So
Hmm.
I'm in that boat. If that makes me a 10 out in, I don't think it does because I'm still picking on him. But I think it was West Ham away after the Liverpool game. I said if he changes back to his original way of playing, he's going to fall on his sword, and I can't defend him. So I don't know how long ago that was. Probably a month and a half.
Hmm.
I'd already said a month. If he go back to doing his normal thing, he's gonna fall on his own sword, and that's his choice, and I can't defend that. So I've been that mindset for so long that to this point now, when I'm like, you've got opportunities to literally save your season. You cannot do it doing the same thing you've been doing that you were doing in December. You
Facts.
have to change it. You haven't got a choice. If you want to save your season, save your career, right? Even not even save your career. Land end on a positive.
Yeah, you got
You've
to
got
get
to change it
results.
now and get those results,
Exactly.
right?
100%.
Because Tottenham are up and down, Aston Villa up and down. You have a
Mm.
big opportunity to sneak in after this
Ex-
terrible season of experimenting.
All
Bro.
in our hands.
And you
All.
know, Abs, Sachiv, Mental, I'm going to let you go next, right? I just wanted to say this. With the run of fixtures in April coming up that Aston Villa has and Spurs have, they both have to face Liverpool, Man City, and Arsenal, as well as Chelsea, and maybe let's say one or two other teams like a Brighton and a Brentford. But those are their games, back to back game weeks for the next 5 weeks from the start of April, right? So, as you said, Abs, Ten Hag does have a chance to save his season. And we probably should get top four. But he has, I think at this point, I would agree with you both and say that maybe he should change it just to get the results for the last few games so we can accrue the points necessary just to get ourselves into top four.
Yeah.
Mental.
So
But
okay, go on. Sorry.
You go ahead, bro.
no, I was just
Yeah.
gonna
So
say, yeah, he's got the chance to save the season, but and as you're saying, maybe he should change it. But now that Licha is going to be back, hopefully after international break, he might not need to change it after all, because Licha can handle the high line. He
Correct.
along with Varane can handle high line, so he'll not have that need to change the system that much anymore, because he'll have his player back, and hopefully Luke Shaw will be back soon as well. So once those two are back, the need to change pretty much goes away, because now he's got the players to play the system that he's playing. And looking at the fixtures, right? I think um, we are thinking Villa have got a tougher run in just because they've got those games back to back. But I don't think people are realizing we've got some tough fixtures as well. We've got Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea. We've got to play those three as well
Yeah, we
in
beat
the
Chelsea
last
every
9 10.
season, bro. Going and coming. Every season we beat
Well, we,
Chelsea
we
twice.
we couldn't beat Chelsea last season when they were struggling so much, man.
Yeah, we did.
Casemiro
We
had to
beat
get a
them 3
last
nil,
minute.
and then we drew 1-1 because they got a penalty for no reason in the second half of the game.
Yeah, but we needed a last minute Casemiro header to get that draw. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, we've got some tough fixtures as well, and we've been really, really inconsistent. I know we are all on such a high after the Liverpool victory, but we've been really inconsistent this season. We can't rely on this team to go on a run of winning 7, 8 games in a row. That hasn't happened all season. So
yeah,
I
but for
know, I know
me,
it's a great chance, but we can still slip up. So we need to really play really well against all the teams. Go
True.
yeah,
ahead,
but
man.
also to I want to speak to that point, and then I
Oh,
want to just
John.
touch on what Abs was saying. So we speak about consistency, but we weren't able to put out a consistent 11 for 5 games. If we're honest, how many times didn't we have to
Agree?
change our centre back partnership? How many
Agree?
times
Yeah.
didn't we have to change our left back and our right back? So um, we want consistency, and yes, I agree that the season has been up and down, but I think it's solely because we don't we couldn't get routines and we couldn't get new players to play together because most of the time players have been injured. Our important players have been injured, right? And I don't like the narrative of no excuses. Well, if I have no legs and I try to walk. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to walk, so I can't. So you can't tell me I don't have excuse to walk if I have no legs. That's impossible, right? And then the same thing what I'm saying about injuries. We say no excuses, but the excuses is valid. Honestly, it's not an excuse. It's actually what's happening. And then Abs is saying he's not Ten Hag in and he's not Ten Hag out, right? Let's picture a world of Ten Hag out, right? The reports that has come out recently has been the Zerbi, which nobody wants, or I speak under correction. But according to what I'm
Ain't
seeing,
no one want
majority
Deserby, trust me.
fans,
You're right. No one
yeah.
wants him.
So nobody wants the Zerbi, and then that goes the same for Potter. People will riot if they have to get Southgate, right? Now, those are the three managers that has been constantly in the reports. We've heard Zidane. Zidane is not coming. Let's be honest. We heard Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick won't come because for some reason, I think Ineos has a strong link to Brexit. It's a strong link. I don't know why, but they want
It's because of
British
the
players.
owner.
Yeah,
He
so
wants an
it's
English core in the team too. That's something that he said when he was trying to buy the club.
yeah,
100%.
but now I find a problem with that because if you're saying best in class is not only English. Best in class is Omar. Is Omar English?
I'm gonna say something that someone might hate, but best in class is there's no English in there.
Yeah, okay, but now
Not
you said that.
managers anyway.
I'm not English, so I can't say that.
Me
So
But I live here, innit? So I can say it with
exactly.
chest.
So now we live in a world where if we're going to get rid of the manager, are we saying that just we're going to get rid of the manager for getting rid of the manager's sake? Or are we actually going to take a harder look at it and say, okay, wait, if we get rid of the manager, this is what we potentially could be enduring. And I don't want to live in that world where we endure a Gareth Southgate, a Graham Potter, a De Zerbi that cannot handle. Because let's be honest, guys, these managers won't be able to handle the pressure of the media alone. That's besides the fans. The media alone. Ooh.
I personally feel, man, if we sack the manager now, it will be worse than sacking any other manager that we've sacked in the last 10 years, to be honest. I personally would give Ten Hag at least one more season under a proper structure. The number of injuries and the number of off-field issues that he's been handling, I personally feel he's been doing an excellent job considering everything that's been going on and the players that he's got. So I would give him at least one more season with a proper structure, with at least two, three more players that he wants to sign, along with the whatever technical director or whoever is coming in, so that even if Ten Hag goes, we have a proper system in place. We're not stuck with players that we can't get rid of again. So I personally would not sack Ten Hag right now. I want to see him succeed at United.
Sachiv, what's your views, my bro? What are you thinking?
Yeah. I was just yeah. I've not much to say, but like all we have to do is like we have to take just one game at a time. Yeah, like we've been on the cloud nine after scoring in the last minute for the last few days. So good to go, and then yeah, like all I have to say is that we just kept top four, and with the a possibility of us getting in the FA Cup trophy as well. That would be great. That would be great end to the season,
Mm-hmm.
so that at least Eric Ten Hag's um at least Ten Hag will be in a very strong
Position.
position to be there for this next season. Yeah.
Big up. Yeah,
I
I
love how
think
you
if
say.
you
I love how you say. Just get top four.
yeah, true. You just get top
Just
four,
get
bro.
it.
I feel like if, as Sachiv is saying there, if Eric Ten Hag could, finish in top four and get to the FA Cup final, possibly win it, I think that's very strong position for Eric Ten Hag to be in as well, because that'll be our second season, qualifying for Champions League. That'll be a second trophy in as many seasons. And it would be like an upgrade from, winning the Carabao Cup. Like, I want to win the Carabao Cup. I don't know what other fans think saying it's a Mickey Mouse Cup. For me, every cup is a
I
cup.
would absolutely win it as well.
You understand?
Yeah.
We win it and we brag about it at the end of the day. If they want to say it's a Mickey Mouse Cup, you have to win it first to call it a Mickey Mouse Cup at the end of the day. So, I don't know about everyone, but I feel like a little bit of patience is necessary. Even in the, yesterday, Abs, I wanted to get you on that stream last night, to play when I was playing the videos, what Sir Jim Ratcliffe was saying, because in one of the clips, he was asked about, who he thinks should win the Premier League. And he didn't mention any team, because he said the first thing he said was he hate them all. But then he said, the guy Gerrard, the cyclist dude, he said, it should be Arsenal. And he was like, it might be good. It might be good for Arteta. He has been decent, and Arsenal has been patient with him as manager. And I
Yeah.
just felt like when I heard that, maybe Sir Jim Ratcliffe might be having some patience for Eric Ten Hag. Maybe he might be saying to himself, you know what? If he was to take just this season, forget last season, just take this season into context. This is the kind of nightmare situation that no manager would want to wake up to and have to deal with for over a 9-month period. And I feel like with him saying that and talking about in an interview before that, over the last 11 years, it's happened to 5 other managers who we would all not argue that they were all top class. So I feel
I'm
like it's
more
one of the
scared.
situations where
Sorry.
Sir Jim and Ineos might probably just have a little faith in the manager, at least for the last year of his contract, and then make a decision going forward.
So I'm more scared that was a soft launch for Potter and his Brexit football.
Oh. Oh.
I'm more scared
Haramgate.
that he's preparing
Haramgate.
us,
Yeah, I know
that
that one.
whoever the next manager is, you got to have to be patient for it to work. I wasn't even thinking
Haramgate.
about Ten Hag when he said that. When I heard that, I immediately thought, but this man wants Brexit football, so maybe he's saying we need to be patient to build his English core based team. Listen, sometimes I'm a negative person, right? So you can take my opinion with a pinch of salt sometimes. But what literally went into my head was he wants us to to support and take our time with Potter. That's exactly what went through my head.
As you say that, bro, you're destroying my mental this morning, because I'm telling you, bro, like
Oh,
that just
exactly.
echoing inside of here right now, and I just see, and I know I see in the plausibility without even trying, and I'm
That'll
mad
be
that that happening right now, bro. To be fair, because it's like when you said it, it just explosions went off, and I was like,
Because if you think about it, right,
hmm,
he went to Arteta. Do you remember how Arteta was? Arteta had probably wasn't like that much liked when he was hired. Right, it was
true,
all about hype in it at that
Yeah, yeah.
point.
True.
A lot of half the Arsenal fans and everyone else called him a cold man for Pep in his first season.
Hmm.
I did. I know I did.
I
So
did too. I still
right,
think he's Pep's cool, man.
and then it took a lot. They haven't won anything major, by the way, yet, and he's still saying, I like it because they're patient. If they don't win anything this season, he's still gonna have a job next season because of the patience thing. Who does that sound like?
Yeah, it sounds like Graham Potter, bro. But
that'll
you know
be
Precisely.
that'll
something,
be
bro. I'm
depressing, man.
holding in the good faith. It's not going to be that way, because I'm telling you, bro. If I keep thinking that, I wouldn't have a smile on my face when I do the stream later, bro. I'm telling you, bro. And I'm gonna do a stream a little bit later on today with the guys at MUFC Realist TV. I don't know if you guys might be available. If you want to pop in, pop in. But we're gonna be talking about young talent coming through. I will be talking about a lot of the talent from the Man United Academy. There's lots of emerging talent there, as well as a few other academies and young
I
players
feel
in
like coming in
different
just to
leagues.
talk about Ethan Williams and then hopping straight back out.
Yeah, no worries, bro. You could do the
That's
Ethan Williams segment for
that's my
me. I would
player
I
of the
would not
future
mind.
right now.
Yo, that dude is, boss. Listen, I think you and I have the same idea about Ethan Williams, but I also will always keep mentioning him. Every time you say Ethan, I will always think Wheatley, because that young striker, bro, he's
He's a
impressive.
giant for his age. Sorry, I don't want to go off topic, but yeah. I like him too. I didn't like him at first, but he's growing on me.
Yeah.
He's growing on me. So
And I definitely will be mentioning Ogunyeyi and one or two other players. Like everybody knows Shea Lacey, but guys, Tyler Fletcher, bro. This young man,
Hey, Fletcher's got
Jesus
some good
Christ,
genes, boy. I'll give him
bro.
that. Give him that.
Twins,
Yeah, I'll give him that.
Yeah, they have twins.
bro.
Yeah.
Jack is play CDM. And I want man to see Jack, I don't want to say anything. I'm not going to I'm not going to say another player like him. I'm not going to say. I just want man to see Jack play. Because when men see Jack, we will hear the conversation after that.
Mm.
And for me, I look at the academy now for Manchester United over the last 4 seasons, 5 seasons, and this last season here for me, the academy doing something different. So Ten Hag influence deep. You could see the system style, but the players thriving. And a lot of the players who thrive in coming up from under 15, they're young, they're 16, 17. You know, the under 20, the under 21's not doing so well, but you could see there are some players that breaking into the under 21 squad now because they change over the squad. They sold like 27 young players last summer. And some of the players in the under 21s now are they're 17 years old, 18
Mm.
years old. You know what I mean? So it's taking them some time, but they're just fifth in the league and they're not doing too bad. But the under 18s are top of the league, dominating with performances like 4-0, 6-1, 5-1, 5-0. The average score for the under 18s this season is 4 goals.
Yeah,
It's crazy, you know.
I have seen that. I have seen that stat somewhere. It's amazing what they're doing. I do need to double check on their league again because I remember a few seasons ago, I was talking about some of the young players, and then me and my friend looked at what league they were in, and it was like Div 2 or something silly like that. So it wasn't the hardest they could have been in. So from that point, we stopped kind of looking at youth players because we knew that their jump from that youth level to the men's team was going to be too big. So I do need to have a look at research again and see where they are in their leagues, respective leagues, in terms of the tiers. Because if they're still in the lower league, I'm not going to over exaggerate on my love for the players because they might be facing rubbish teams, to be honest.
No, these youngsters, but the under 18s for sure. They drop up Chelsea the other day 4-0, bro. They hit Man City 5. They beat Liverpool 6-1.
Okay,
It
those
was
are those are
ridiculous.
usually very good setup. So yeah, I'm not even gonna can't take that
You
away
know,
from them for
I
sure.
mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot to be done at Manchester United, and as fans, we already know because we've been here, we always there posted, like, on a stop sign on the corner because we're watching these games, we're watching all the players coming through, the ones leaving, the ones coming in, the different managers we had over the last decade, and before. And, we have a little road to go, guys. I just feel like we could criticize is all well and good because everybody has different views and the opinions dynamic and it will always lead to something positive at the end of the day because at the end of the day it's not just about the players, just about the managers, but it's about the fans and the club. And you could see Manchester United is doing something right now that different from what we were doing over the last decade, in my opinion. And the only reason I could say that is because I didn't like Sir Jim Ratcliffe, right? When I say I didn't like him, I wanted a full seal. So I was against anyone that was trying to bypass. And you know what? Some of the decisions that he made, I'm looking forward to see what
Mm.
results and what is the reaction from it. I already seeing that, with Omar Parada, we're going to have a very astute footballing mind at the top. I'm not too happy about Dan Ashwood, but at the end of the day, he's definitely better than what we had before. And for the other guys coming in, I can only say this. If this structure forms up, it should be like Voltron. And if Ten Hag has it to back him, who's to say he's not going to have a team showing that dominance
Exactly.
in the Premier League like his Ajax team over the last 4 seasons? So, in my honest opinion, a little patience might be needed. You know what I mean? I know we want to win. I know we have that history of winning things and being the best team. But like Arsenal, and I'm not saying take the page out of Arsenal's book, but I'm saying this is one time in United history that going into the future where, maybe fans could be a little patient for once because we haven't been for the last 10 years. I mean, Sir Alex took 6 years to win his first trophy, so it's one of those things where, it might not be the order of the times or what we assume or, what we kind of consider to be the standard. But if you think about it, it take Pep 7 years to win one UCL at Man City. It took him eight. It took him like the same amount of time to win one at Bayern Munich. It took him the same amount of time to win one at Barcelona. And when I say the same amount of time, he spent equally 7 to 8 years at Barcelona, equally seven to
I
eight years
swear
at
Pep
Bayern.
didn't win Champions League with Bayern.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
didn't. It's two at Barca, right?
yeah,
My
yeah.
bad. I keep forgetting that one at the same time. So for me, it's like, you have to. We call Pep the greatest manager, but I'm not trying to say Ten Hag is Pep. I'm just trying to say that football is not just one coach, not just one system, and the Pep's way might be super popular now in terms of Man City and all those things, but at the end of the day, you know, football have so
Also,
many things to offer other than just one style of play.
Mark,
Agreed.
also, like, Abs was speaking about stubbornness and about after Liverpool when we went to West Ham. I think we lost that game against West Ham. I think we lost it 2-0. But
Yes,
in
you
that
did.
game as well, we should have taken our chances. But for me, stubbornness is a sign of a good coach. Because if you look at Pep Guardiola when he came to the league, everybody was saying, "You can't play this league. You can't play this way in this league. You're going to get found out." And Pep came third that season. All right, and with money and with they buying players, players not working, selling those players, buying new players until he got the perfect team. I took time. All right. Now it took quicker because obviously Man City has unlimited money, and that's the reason why they have 115 charges. But because of the fact that Pep didn't stray away from his philosophy, didn't stray away from how he wants to play, how he wants to do things. I think for me, that is a sign that we have a very good manager because if you're going to be tossed to and fro regarding like how you're gonna play, but if it's not gonna work, so you change it immediately, then what do you stand for? What is your
Can
what
I
is your
can I
ethos?
interject real quickly, right?
Yeah, go on.
Because I see a lot of people saying this sometimes, and it's maybe it's not their fault because sometimes you have to look at the details of it. Pep's football that he tried to play in the first season was back to back how Barcelona were playing when he finally left them, right? Total possession based football, right? With one player, obviously he had Messi, so let's just be honest there. You have total possession football, and then in the final third you find Messi, you're gonna win most things, right?
Mm.
So he tried to do that in the first season. He has actually changed it. His style is not 100% possession based. It is possession based as a format, as a foundation, but he's changed his football from how he wanted to play in Man City's first season to how he's playing now. Or even he's probably changed that about 2-3 times since because of the players he had,
Now,
right? So
Abs, can
he's
I just
edited because a lot of people go, "Oh, he stuck to his style of play." He didn't. He changed it. He had to
can I ask
change
you
it,
a
and this is the
question?
same thing I want Ten Hag to do, right?
But can I
You
ask you a
need to
question?
adapt it to the league you're in.
I
The
agree
difference is Pep had an open checkbook.
exactly. But
If
now
he
the
had
thing
an
is,
open checkbook,
I asked the question right. Did he change it or did he evolve? Because it's different. There's a difference between changing completely and evolving.
so
Because
I would
from
say from the first year to his first trophy, he changed it. From that trophy to now, he's evolved it. Because the first time he had Sane and Sterling, so he always had pace to go in behind. And then I think 2 seasons ago he didn't have no pace to go in behind because he got Grealish, and so he had to change it then. And then now with the introduction of Doku, he's trying to get pace in behind again. And with the next player that he's bought from Savio that he's bought or they've confirmed, that's now he's still trying to go for pace in behind again. So he's trying to change it again or adapt it or evolve it. It depends what word you want to use, right?
yeah, but for me personally, it has different meanings. So, for example, if we look at the football that City plays now compared to the football that he played at Barcelona, um, it's very similar. But the reason why it's maybe different in essence is because of the type of players that he had at Barcelona. He had Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets. Now, immediately if you have that midfield, you literally have to sit on the you can sit on the bench, and you don't have to say one thing, and you will win the game. Then you still have Messi up front. Then you
So
still have
this is
Luis
why I
Suarez.
said he changed it, because that same style of football, he took that to Germany. He didn't change it at Germany. Then he tried to bring that football here, and then he had to force to change it. So
Facts.
that's why I said he's changed it. Because if you watch Barcelona and Bayern, they did exactly the same thing. Of course, he had Lam, he had um, Kimmich, he had Alaba when he was fitter. Like he had smart players, intelligent players as well. But he literally, the football was the same. It's
So
when he
then, were
came to
you?
England, he had to change it a little bit, where he was like, I don't have one main man, especially in the front three, but I do have two pacey people that get in behind. So his football was all about trying to get to isolate Sterling and his fullback or Sonny and his fullback. And then once they've beaten their fullback, is pull it across for the other one to have a tap in. That wasn't
I, d-
Barcelona football. That wasn't Bayern football. That's why I said
I,
he
I don't want to
changed it.
move the goalpost now, but like, were you then happy? Like, were you happy when he said he's not going to play the way Ajax played?
No, I was fuming, but I understood it. My first question when Ten Hag said that was, so then why did you bring him? But then I went, I'm not going to kill him because look at the players. Because the second thing he said straight away was, because I don't have the players. And I went, you're damn right you don't have the players. So I'm going to let you can say that. Because I know you don't have the players. I know you don't have the players. Right? So as a guy that's been watching, from the moment he was hired, I started my battles on certain players. My agendas, if you want to put it that way. I started with Bruno because he was the first one. I said, this guy loses the ball way too much for that Ajax football. I started with Shaw because I said Shaw does not overlap enough for that Ajax football. I went with Maguire. Maguire's going to have to cover a lot of ground in behind him. That's not going to work. So I started dissecting our squad and saying Ajax football is not going to work, right? But I did hope that he was going to start replacing players and then start putting his system in. So when he got Martinez, I was like, I know exactly why he's got that. I know exactly why he's got him. When he was going for De Jong, I said, I know exactly why he wants that, right? So I started saying, okay, he's trying. So my idea is, I was like, you have to aim for it, but I know why you can't do it. Please go find some semblance of Ajax football. Do you get what I mean? Like, evolve it then for United and the Premier League if you have to. But I need to see some good football because that's why I wanted you. That's why I went to battle for you.
100% agree.
I went to battle and said, you have to get this guy. Right?
I too, bro. I totally agree with your comments. But you know, I know one guy who was in on the battle to get Ten Hag, but right now he's Ange Ball. And I just wanted to hear his opinion because I've been trying to get him on the stream for the longest, but
Ange
he's always
Ball.
busy. So let me bring in
Ange
Ange
Ball.
Ball.
Ange
Almost
Hey,
solo.
what's
Big
up?
up, my bro. What's good?
What's up, Marks? Yeah, my computer's been acting up, so I finally fixed it now.
Cool.
I
What's
don't know,
good,
my
my bro?
phone version don't work. I'm good.
See your boy KOBBIE, man. You guys call up to England. You know, I mean, I
I'm,
happy for
I'm,
the
I'm,
lad.
I'm upset that like he should have got called up in the first place.
Yeah, that's
Facts.
true.
100%.
Still happy for the lad,
I'm
bro.
looking at the game. I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. These are friendly. You should have called up Garner as well. Like, what is this? Test out your midfield. Experiment with something.
Bro, Southgate is not that kind of coach, bro. Like,
Southgate's a
what I
donut,
from
bro.
what I've known,
The keys is in his hand. He could win it with the team.
bro, he had the
Any manager
keys in
could
his
win it with
hand
the
for
team.
about 12 years, bro. Come on, let me be real, bro. Southgate over the last decade, well, almost a decade, I think, right? Because for me, he manager since what 2012 or 2014,
Yeah, he
something like that.
managed Euro and World Cup, so that's this
And
12 years now,
right,
right?
so and this dude has had, in my opinion, the most talented crop of English players, and he keep getting more.
I don't know. Like I don't know why they keep giving him the keys and he messed it up over and over.
So we talking about your boy Ten Hag. We know he's you know his Ange
You
Ball.
know me. I don't like the manager
I know
already.
you want to kill the manager, bro. I know
I'm
you want to
like
kill
I
the
want him
manager.
out a long time ago. Like
Hey, who you
they're
bringing in? Who you bringing in? Realistically?
don't ask me what I'm bringing in. I'm not dealing with.
No.
Ask me what I'm
You
bringing
can't
in.
do that. You can't do that. So,
Yes, I
you're
can.
not gonna
Yes,
have a
I
manager.
can.
Can I ask? Okay,
No,
okay.
bro.
So let's be fair. You
Because
can't
you
tell
asked
us
me
who's
what I'm
coming
bringing,
in.
who do I prefer is the best.
Yes,
I'll
that's
answer
what I was
that.
about to say. Who do you want to come in if you were
Okay,
in
who
charge?
do I want to come in? Diego Simeone.
You
Yeah,
what?
what?
Jesus Christ.
You must sinbin. You must
think-
create a sinbin on
I
this thing.
think
This
that's
guy
my
know that. This guy know
that's
that
my
you guys
sign to
haven't watched Atletico Madrid.
go back
Bro,
to
okay.
It just shows
Now,
me. And
I
that's
now
why
what
want
you're
him to
saying
explain
there,
this so I can hear it properly.
what you said?
I want to hear the explanation to this.
I want a mentality monster. Imagine that we get the win one way or the other. Diego Simeone gets win. He gets the win,
But he had wins though.
and he constantly does it. Like what? Like for example, we will be in the Champions League by now. We will be in the Champions League right now. We will be in the Carabao Cup. We would have won. We will got to the Carabao Cup final. We'll be where ENT'L is in the FA Cup, and we'll be challenging for the title.
Is
Diego
this the
Simeone
same
does
guy
that.
that just inadvertently bent over for Barcelona
It,
recently?
it, it, it's not about the same guy that very bad for, but that's yet the same guy that won the league with the mighty Barcelona and Real Madrid. Like he had to kind of title the he had to go against the best two team in the league over and over, and he's still fighting them. It's not like this ETA just rugged manager
Well,
over here.
one question or more, right?
Mm,
Because this is
yo.
the no, I don't like I hear you with the Simeone as much as I will hear men with Hansi Flick. I might even hear men with a different manager, right? But at the same time, my only gripe with Simeone is to take him 7 years, right, before he was able to win anything with Atletico Madrid, and in the first 4 seasons, he didn't even finish top 6 in the first 4 seasons. He was nowhere near it. He was 10th, he was 11th, he was ninth in
I
the
was
fourth
just
season.
about to go do my research, but you've done it for me, Mark. Thank you very much. Because
Bro,
in my head, right, I'm thinking this guy hasn't won enough to get this rating. Also, second thing, he only works well as the underdog manager.
Mm.
I ain't gonna lie to you. These players that we have don't have any backbone. They're not gonna work with him. And then what happens when he finally wins? He loses the next season because he can never defend because he needs to be the underdog. When he's the top guy, he loses his head.
Yeah.
so Olmo, that's the only arguments we will have with you on
Oh,
Diego
listen,
Simeone.
you can disagree all you want, but I already answered.
Yeah, I just feel like, listen, I hear the Zidane shout. Zidane is a very good manager. We know what he would bring to the team, but my thing is when we consider all the managers that you possibly would like or probably prefer, you have to consider the squad that we have and how much it's going to cost to facilitate these managers at least to get a semblance of what they want to do in their first season. And realistically, I don't think Manchester United at the position, even with Sir Jim Ratcliffe money and stuff right now and the investment that we're going to have for the summer. I don't think we're going to spend 400 million. I don't
No, I
think
don't think so. The first thing they're gonna do is
300
fight the
million.
manager, which
You
is
know
the
what I
best
mean?
thing they should do.
And I really and I'll okay. I would like our players to be more physical, but I really don't like watching Atletico Madrid players defend because I think two things about Atletico player: they're dirty and there's crybabies.
I like that.
Anti-football.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
Haram.
Anti-football.
So you
That big
love
mentality.
Bruno.
He doesn't like Bruno, bro.
But so
Oh,
how can you
I
like
like Bruno.
what?
Well,
I know I like Bruno
if
Fernandes.
Simeone come, Bruno is going to be club captains under
Oh no,
Simeone.
he's gonna get rid of Bruno so fast. I can't
No,
wait.
he's not. He's going to keep Bruno.
He's
I
going to
could, bro.
love
I bet
Bruno.
money. I could bet money. I willing to place a bet down. Anyone. Pep
The only,
Guardiola
the only
get
players, the
Bruno
only players that
available.
the only player I see
Bruno
Simeone
starts
liking,
in the Man City when
the only
Kevin De
player I
Bruyne
see
is not
Simeone
playing.
liking is crazy enough is McTominay. I don't know why I think he's gonna like him. Like
He's gonna love
that's about
You're
it.
McTominay, yeah,
talking
because
like
he
he's
fakes it.
coming. He's
Yes,
not coming.
but there's no way on God's green earth Diego Simeone is coming to this. Like,
Never. He's anti-football.
thank
Like
you.
the style of
Anti-football,
play
bro.
monsters, the style of play monsters will be on his neck from the
Oh,
first minute.
wait, when you say anti-football, what do you mean by that?
We watch football for enjoyment. It's an entertainment thing. I ain't watching Simeone football for the whole
It's
season.
not
He's
entertaining,
worse
bro.
than Jose.
Worse.
So the nice way to entertain and win at the same time. Okay, I get it now.
No, yeah,
I
I
want to
mean,
win
and
in
this is the
joy.
thing.
I mean, we support Man United. Did we not win in joy all these years when we were winning?
No,
Exactly.
We won with good
for the
football.
past 10 years, what past 10
That's
years,
the
what
past
Premier League
10.
trophy do you have for me?
He talking about when we were winning,
Before,
we were
And I
wait,
was
enjoying
a
the
young
football.
boy fighting to watch football on TV, to watch Man
who,
United
who
play.
was the
And it was
manager by
good
then?
football. Sorry, say that again.
Who was the manager when you was enjoying football?
Alex Ferguson.
Alex
Okay.
Fergie. But I would tell you this for free. Alex Ferguson takes 7 seasons to win his first title. So I mean,
I understand
I
the
could
patience
always
thing, but it's Alex Ferguson's style of football which evolved and changed a million times and was still
exactly.
entertaining to
So
And
Diego that
football
has
that
not
changed a
changed his
million
football.
times. If Diego Simmons, he tried to Diego Simmons didn't change.
He's
bro,
never
he
gonna
have
Because
change.
one standard. If the
I've
if the if the
gone back to
opponent
watch
getting
tape.
past you, break him
I've,
down,
got,
break him up.
I've gone back to watch tape, and it has changed over time. It has changed over time.
What changes when if you lose
But he didn't
if a
start
player
out
on the
like that.
run, take him out. That's all he say. Take him out.
Wait. Diego Simeone has changed his style of play. Since when?
Yeah, yes, he has changed style of play over time. I've gone to watch back. I've watched back since the River Plate days. I've gone to watch back. I went to
I
watch back.
mean, you're gonna watch
It,
him
it,
coach
it,
River
it,
Plate and then
but
coach
but but but
Atletico and
that,
compare the
but,
change.
but I'm just telling you that what like it has changed over time to what it is now.
Has he
Bro,
changed in Atletico Madrid? Because I
not
don't think
one
he has.
season it changed from being the same thing over and
Okay,
over.
okay.
This is why João Felix wanted to leave.
Yeah, because he
This is
started
why
changing to
most
a
of the top
fullback.
strikers go to Atletico Madrid want to leave because the football he plays does not suit attacking players.
Or maybe they don't have the mentality.
It's not about the mentality, bro.
Omo, nah,
For
Omo.
him is for Diego Simeone our
Omo, you're
mentality.
this man.
It's a
Diego
mentality
Simeone's
team.
park the bus, foul players, and nick a goal.
It's a
That's his
mentality
strategy.
team. Did I
No,
tell you?
bro.
Did I say in the prediction that they were like in like the first leg with Inter Milan,
Omo, let me ask you a
like they
question.
were either gonna win or lose by one goal and come at their home and they're gonna play the way they want to play. It's simple thing that they're gonna do.
Omo, let me ask you a question.
It's how you were supposed to beat Inter Milan. It's compact on midfield. Try to play your football against Inter Milan and you're gonna lose. What happened to the whole group stage? It's simple thing.
Bro, I am
So,
telling you now,
so
bro. The next time United in the Champions League, which will be next season, if we meet Milan, don't change your tongue. Because when Ten Hag smash up them fools,
Wait,
I will
Tal
be
gonna
here
be
to
the
call you
manager,
out.
so I'm good.
You don't
Tal
oh
gonna
my
worry,
be
don't
the
worry,
god.
bro.
manager.
Just like how I tell man, we was going to get that ball after the corner, and that Liverpool would have overcook it, and we gonna break away and score the goal.
Ah,
Maybe I said it was Rashford who was
bro,
going
that
to score because typically that's the guy who's making the breakaway. But
uh,
I might put it away. I just
All
want you
right,
to know. I'm telling you now, when Ten
it,
Hag get Champions League next season,
it's
bro.
not funny with Ten Hag, right? Because he said in an interview that he couldn't bring on Ahmad because of training levels, and I got more pissed off. I hated him more.
Bro, you had to love the guy, bro.
And you know when I was through the roof with him, when I was done with him, like I
Mm.
tried to give him a little bit of hope. Cause I was happy that day. Then I realized, like, wait a minute, we won without Casemiro. We won without Luke Shaw. We won without Lisandro Martinez. That I hated him more. I
This
hated
different
him
teams,
more.
bro.
No,
but
no,
that's
no,
the
no,
difference
no,
that
no,
Hoyland
because
makes.
we beat one of the best team in the league with
But that's the
injury.
difference.
I hated him more.
That but you need to hear this quickly. That's the difference that fit fullbacks makes, and that's the difference that a Hoyland number 9 makes. Right? You set the tone. You allow players to play off the number 9. Because if you notice in the game, in the Liverpool game, Van Dijk was fully occupied with Hoyland, right? And Konza was the one that had to do most of the work, because Van Dijk couldn't let Hoyland do what he wanted to do. And that's why Hoyland didn't get much of the ball. I'm going to ask you a question quickly, Omo, all right? Did you enjoy that? You said now you gave Ten Hag some hope, all right, after the game, before you heard the comments. So does that mean you enjoyed the game on Sunday?
Yeah, I
Did you
did enjoy
enjoy
the
it?
game. I
The
enjoyed the game
spectacle, all
Sunday.
right, all right. The spectacle you saw.
That's why I hate this manager more because I'm like
Okay,
throughout
wait.
this whole
Okay,
season,
wait.
and you know what's so
Wait.
crazy? You know what? I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah, thank you. So you enjoy the spectacle, right? If you bring in Diego Simeone because of the magnitude of the game, he's going to play defensive football, hit you on the break, and hope to get the result. That is the reality. He
That's
won't
what
play
Ten
that
Hag
type of
did.
game.
Did Ten
Omo,
Hag do that? Just sit back and hit them on the
no, he
break?
didn't. No, he didn't. If I must remind you, Kobe made a couple of runs, passed the ball to Rashford, and
Yes.
Wan-Bissaka got a score, got a chance.
Yeah, Ramsey got like
Rashford,
3 chances and made bad passes, and
ex-
2 bad passes and
exactly,
1 bad shot.
exactly. And how many times didn't Wan-Bissaka win the ball high up the field when they tried to pass the ball to Mo Salah? How many
Uh,
times did our midfield recover the ball and transition the ball for us to attack? That's the reason why we were saying we
they
should
did
have
they
been
did
up. I
that a
think
lot. They did that a lot in the first 20, 27,
30
28
minutes, yes, in
minutes.
the first 30 minutes. That's the football that we played. What I'm saying is that if you get a manager in that's negative, that's pragmatic, Jose Mourinho, Diego Simeone, if you get these types of managers in, they don't take the risk of allowing their players to go and express themselves. They tell the players defend, and as soon as you get as soon as you are guaranteed certain to make the pass, but don't take chances, don't take risks. Ten Hag
Hold
won
on,
the game.
wait
Wait
a
quickly, I'm gonna
minute.
make this last point, then you can go at it. Huh?
Okay.
Ten Hag won the game because he went 1v1 on the field. 1v1 means three defenders against three attackers, midfielders against midfielders, strikers, wingers against their defenders. That's 1v1. All right. Diego Simeone, a pragmatic coach, will never in a million years go 1v1 because it's too open. There's too much of a risk. That's what I will say.
Diego Simeone, hold on. First of all, on that point, Diego Simeone would have got the win in 90 minutes. Like you don't got the win in 90 minutes. We're not going to extra time. You got the win in 90 minutes. Look
To
what
be
he did.
fair, we almost got the win in 90 minutes.
Exactly.
But where the F doesn't count. He's gonna get it.
So you
At
can
90
say you
minutes,
can make
I'm
everything
not
equal.
listening to.
2-2.
I'm not arguing with a guy that lost
The
two
score was
Champions
2-2
League
at 90
finals,
minutes,
man.
and you're
I'm
saying
not.
that if.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Diego Simeone is an if. He always loses finals.
Did he? No, he doesn't always lose his finals.
Well, he's
He
lost
made
two
it seem like he
Champions
has never
League
won a
once.
final before.
He's won two Champions League once. I can tell you because I was supporting the other team.
Big up. Before you guys finish, last 10 minutes, so this probably gonna be the last topic here, guys. Just wanted to hear your opinions on this, but because this is, some seriously news that coming out right now, and a lot of important heads are talking about this is looking very possible for the dynamic that's gonna happen very shortly. So I'll bring this article to the fold so you guys could see, and I'll just read it out, and then you guys can let me know what you guys think about this because for me, I would rather get Vinny Jr., but it's looking likely that we are competing with Liverpool and to get this Rodrigo guy. Rodrigo goes, very good player for Madrid, plays off the right wing, also plays at striker. You know what I mean? The battle is probably going to cost us around probably 51 million euros. We gave up hope on getting Victor Gyökeres and as well as trying to get that little centre back. So, guys, what are your thoughts on the possibility of signing Rodrigo? I know he might not be a favorite for everyone, but what are your thoughts?
Um, First of all, it's a bad idea. Why I say it's a bad idea because we have no midfield. We don't have a midfield. The first thing we need to focus on is a midfield. Forward is a waste of money. Focus on your midfield. That midfield is so wide open. This manager is clueless. That midfield is priority number one for me. So I see it.
Abs.
Do you know what? I actually agree with him, but not the way he said it. Not he said Ten Hag was clueless. I'm not gonna go jump on that boat. As an individual player, if we had everything correct, I like Rodrigo. Again, I do watch a lot of Real Madrid games. Obviously, I'm a fan of them in that league, so I like him. We're never gonna get Vinicius. let's just park that in the bus. Yeah, right. We're gonna be paying well over 125 to even think about getting him. Rodrigo is a good player. We will have to give him at least a year to adjust to the league. Same thing he had to do at Madrid as well. And then when he starts being able to get comfortable the ball, dribbling and stuff, he would turn up to be a good player, in my opinion. But Omo is right. You need to work on your midfield to get the ball to him in the first place, to get the ball to the striker, to get the ball to the left, to the other winger. So it's not the right place for us to spend money first. This is the same feeling I had with Mason Mount. I thought that's not the place to spend your money first. I personally want new fullbacks. I don't care what anyone tells me about Deleu's great season, and I put that in inverted commas, and I don't want to see Luke Shaw here next season.
Well, I agree with you,
He's
Luke Shaw.
unreliable. So
I agree with
whatever
Luke
money
Shaw.
we have should be fixing those two positions first. And if you can find a centre back, a young one that we can train up to eventually replace Varane or Maguire or whatever, get that too. So
Well,
my mind is sort out the back line, sort out your foundation first.
true. I
Then
will
move
say
to
this much,
midfield.
Abs. Don't forget to have Willie Kwambala, you know, I think that youngster has a very decent profile, physical capability, and talent on the
Yeah.
ball. I think he is the reason why we are no longer in the race for Todibo because he's basically a Todibo, a younger version. I heard that yesterday I was covering some transfers where I was talking about Goncalo Ignacio, left-sided centre back, basically a type like Lissandro Martinez. He's 6'2" though, so a little bit more stature.
Yeah.
Very good on the ball. He's right now top for progressive passes in terms of defenders in Europe, and he's a Manchester United fan and probably going to cost us in the region of £44 million.
Oh,
I
then I'll
also
get
know
that.
that he's refused Liverpool, saying that he's waiting for the summer to hear the offers from Man United first.
So that's two good things already. He's less than 50 million and he doesn't want to go Liverpool. Lovely. Bring him in.
You know what I mean? I know there's
So
there's another option that we were looking at. Yeah, sure, we were looking at Lenny Euro, but I heard that he wants to join Real Madrid. But we were also looking at the youngster from Atalanta, which is for me kind of a little bit iffy because you know what Atalanta did when we went in to get Rasmus recently. Rasmus was initially rated somewhere in the region of £52 million, and we ended up paying 75. At the same time, this youngster Giorgio Scalvini, if I was to describe him, you might be upset, but I would say he's a 2020 version of Alessandro Nesta, in my opinion. Plays on the right, very good on the ball, very physical, dominant in the air,
Mm.
and he's not afraid to dribble guys to get himself out of trouble. So he's also 21, which is the same age as Goncalo Ramos. The only difference is Goncalo Ramos captains his squad in the league for
Yeah.
Sporting. So, guys, I know there's a lot of interest in the defense. I feel like definitely we should be focusing on the defenders. But there are also reports that we are already in talks with a few players to solve those solutions as a fullback, a
Yeah.
central
So
back,
that, for
and
me,
a midfielder currently.
I'm not going to be happy unless I see defenders bought first, and
yeah,
then midfield, and then up, and then the attacking three. Like I can
100%.
tolerate, and don't get me wrong, if we can sell him for good money, um, and then buy someone else, then fine, we'll do it. I'm happy to tolerate Rashford for another season. Tolerate, not keep, not I'm in. Tolerate, right?
Me, me
But if
too.
the money is good, get rid.
I
Facts.
agree. He's a useless
So
player.
so for me, I kind of I made a reckless statement yesterday, and I say Rashford in. I honestly believe in the guy. I all of a sudden found belief. And Rashford in. Rashford's the
It's
best.
amazing what one
Rashford,
game can do.
Wait, hold on. You
Rashford for
believe in
president.
Rashford?
It's amazing what
Rashford for
one game can
president.
do with these flip floppers. KG's
Oh
also
my
said he wants to
god.
keep it. It's incredible.
Dude, I wasn't on KG show yesterday, but I had something to do now. But I know if I'd come, I would have been going at him, brother.
He
Bring
said
him
it.
up on
Don't worry. He
charges.
said it in his show. He said it in a Flex and KG show. He even turned Flex to say, "Yeah, I want him to work." This is nasty. I don't flip flop like this, you know. These flip floppers they're disease.
Wait, what? Oh my god.
These flip
Yeah.
floppers are disease, bro.
Don't
Nah,
get-
never disease. Never disease.
oh, this-
So
oh,
I agree with Abs with regards to defenders. Now I take a different view to the hole in the midfield, because I think the hole in the midfield is because of the type of defenders that we have. All right, and I think with Lissandro Martinez in the team, all of a sudden the hole in the midfield doesn't really look like that much of a hole. Because of the fact that he plays so high. So yeah, I would look at defenders. I know Mark has that Scalvini. I still think Braithwaite, he looks very good. Like,
Oh hell no! That's Maguire.
bro,
wait.
he's
He's
fast, he's
slow.
strong,
Oh
he,
my
He's
god.
nice,
slow.
he's quick.
This
Is
this
he,
this
is
is
he
why
slow?
oh my god.
Listen, here
I
my
go
own
from
the
Brentford.
reason why I haven't done anything on Brantwaite, I was talking about him last season, last December, before the winter window and stuff. My biggest gripe with certain players, and the reason why I'm not going to be talking about them as transfers right now, I might probably talk about them later on, is because the price. 70 plus million,
Oh no! Hell no!
hell no,
Oh
right?
hell no!
Amadou Onana, they're
Listen,
probably gonna want the same, hell no.
all that to
Bro,
do all that to do the
Braithwaite
next
turns like
window
a
is
bus.
buy all
I'm
that to
not
do next
interested.
Hmm?
I would say all they have to do next window is buy two center midfielder and left back. The two center midfielder guy will be over 25 minimum. Over 25 years old minimum. No more youth prospects. Get some older adults in that locker room. All you got there is mad kids and some experienced players here and there. That like there's no experience in that locker room. Like there's none. You can sit on the pitch. Like why is McTominay, Bruno, and Minor going so far up attacking versus Liverpool? And that whole space in the middle in the park. Like there's no experience back there. Like experience is needed. Like 25-year-old at minimum, get some grown man with beard in that locker room to play that midfield.
I get that. I get that. Experience is key still.
And no, they're not going off of this manager.
But guys, we are
But
all like,
wait, hold on, wait, give me a minute. Well, Lisandro Martinez wasn't playing and we won. Lisandro Martinez, people are saying the spine, we can't do nothing to Lisandro come back. He wasn't there in one. How was this manager able to win without hit that player? That means he can do something and he chose not to do it. He can do something, he chose not to do it.
You're mad at the manager. We get you upset.
I'm mad.
Ignore the fullbacks. So
I'm mad at the manager because you can't do this. You can't. This whole season didn't do it, and now you're doing it. You better mess up.
Hold on.
Once
So
the
you
season over,
ignoring
pack
the
your
fact
bags.
that we have Aaron Wan-Bissaka after 2 months, right? We have him back.
Yeah, Wan-Bissaka the left back. Oh my
But
god,
he's a
this manager's
fullback.
gonna kill me. This manager's gonna kill me. This manager will kill me. Yeah, Wan-Bissaka play left back.
Bro,
Exactly,
didn't
but
I
he's a
tell you?
fullback.
Didn't I tell you on the stream with Papi that is where we had to play Basaka, bro? We have to play him against Salah.
But it shows that this manager could fucking. You know what? Let me not curse. Let me cool down.
Bro, listen, I know you're upset, but listen, I'm gonna tell you something. It have a reason for everything, and you might not see it. I might not see everything. Abs might not see it. John might not see it. We all have our different views.
I saw it that
The
day.
fact is,
I
the
watched
manager
the game
could do
3
it,
times.
but
3
he's,
times.
he's being stubborn. He chosen to stick to his guns. And to be fair, bro, I feel like we could not really do what we did against Liverpool without having a balance in defense, like a fullback on the left. Because let me be real, Amrabat not good enough to play the left. Lindelof is doing his best, still not good enough to play the left. Maybe you guys might have listened to me more when I say we should stick Anthony there in the time when he was not in form. Because if you see the last bit of his performance at left back in that game, tell it, man.
Listen, I've already said that Anthony is a better defender than he is going forward. So, he reads interceptions very well. He's hardworking. He gets his tenacity, right? None of that affects him when he's going forward. So, I think that should be his new position. Mark, you're not the first one to say it. Well, you might have been the first one to say it. I've been saying it to my friends, and on my podcast, I said it. I said, I swear he will be a good wing back, is what I said initially, right? But maybe even further back. So when he went into that back line, I got excited straight away because I said, "Bro, I've been asking for this. I have been asking for this. This is what I've been asking for."
Big up, guys. Thank you all for joining me. It's been my pleasure to have you guys on the stream with me today. John, you're always here in the mornings. Abs, if you ever want to pop in, you got the keys, bro. Just come in. I'm here every morning, except on Fridays mostly because it's the manager's press conference day. But I think this Friday I'll come in with something. But tomorrow, if you want to come in, bro, Thursday night, I also have a show at 10 p.m. UK time. Omo, same for you, my bro. Always welcome, bro. Big up to all of you joining me, guys. Thank you so much for being with us in the chat. All of those watching on X, don't forget to give us a retweet, like, and subscribe, guys. Those of you on the YouTube, don't forget to share it around. Give us a like when you leave the stream. And those watching in the non-live section, please leave your comments, your predictions, your views, your comments. And don't forget to smash a like and hit the notification bell so you can see when we're live again. Big up to everyone. This has been your boy, MarkN, MUFC Fan, with Abs End to End, Almost Solo, and John Morgan, bringing to you, a little bit of talk on the international scene. And tomorrow we'll be bringing more on the scouting scene. Big up to everyone. Catch you guys later.